Welcome to another unboxing and review. This time it's for a Suunto Race 2, a wave blue model. So wave blue refers to the colour of the strap. So without further ado, let's unbox and see what's inside. So a nice attractive cardboard box, and inside we have the internal box, which contains the watch, a quick start guide with, I think, regulatory information, the quick release wave blue strap, and also the charging cable. And this will just be, I think, regulatory information or instruction book. Yes, that's just regulatory. It's not an instruction book. That's your quick start guide there. So just a quick look at the quick start guide. This is just a quick start guide as to get your watch up and running, get the strap connected, and a few stickers in the pack. So nothing too kind of comprehensive, just enough to quickly get you up and running. So onto the navigation. So the navigation is either through swipe gestures. So if you swipe down from the top, it gives you the list of exercise modes. If you swipe up from the bottom, you get the control panel settings, etc., and the whatever widgets you've got active there, which can be changed through the Suunto app. And swipe across to get back to the main watch face. So from the watch face, each of these buttons are the top and the bottom button, can be configured for a short press action and also a long press action, and also the crown. If you short press the crown, at the moment I've just got it to shortcut to the control panel, and a long press will take me into settings. Same sort of thing with the top button. Short press takes me straight to the previous activity I was doing. Long press I've got set to the timer. Bottom button is the control panel there, and long press I've got set to lock the screen, so I can't do anything until I've unlocked it, and pressing again unlocks it. So that's the simple navigation controls. They work quite well. I find that the swipe gestures work far better than the crown, because the crown's a bit fiddly to operate on the move. So the standard watch face you get with this is the one that I've got installed. It gives you the number of steps, the time in a nice clear digital format, the date, and also the last 4 weeks worth of exercise metric. You can download the additional watch faces from the Suunto Plus store, which is the premium subscription that you get with these more expensive watches. I didn't get that with the previous watch I reviewed, the Suunto Run. That doesn't fall into this category, so you're a little bit limited as to the watch faces you can actually download and install on there. However, this comes with the Plus, the Suunto Plus subscription, so you got a whole wealth of watch faces, sports apps, and customizations that you can readily download to the watch. So in addition to the buttons, you've also got the swipe interface, which if you swipe up from the bottom, you access the apps and the settings, whereas if you swipe up from the top, swipe down from the top, you get access to the built-in sports activity mode, and you got a hell of a lot of different built-in sports modes, including quite obscure ones, which, you know, if you want to track, you can. So just going into how you access the exercises. So if you either swipe down from the top, you can access the exercise list, or if you press the top button, you access the last, and it automatically tries to engage the last exercise, which happened to be pool swimming. That was what I just selected previously. So if you go into, say, running basic, so it will look for firstly a GPS and also heart rate. Because I've got this on a dummy, it's not really going to pick the heart rate up, so I'm going to skip this. And the pickup of the GPS is pretty impressive. It does pick it up within kind of 30 seconds from a cold start. It also gives you the kind of battery usage that you're likely to get out of this on this mode. And if you're happy, you can click start, or you can set various exercise options. So you can set the navigation type. At the moment it's breadcrumbs, so it basically just starts out from where you start and then drops little traceable breadcrumbs to allow you to navigate back to where you were. The Suunto Plus I mentioned allows you to effectively add on downloadable complementary sports apps, which allow you to customize and improve the basic built-in apps. So you can add all sorts of apps. I'll show you those a little bit later. So at the moment I've got I downloaded something called Race Pacer, which for me, because I'm a long distance runner, allows me to hone in on target times. Like, for instance, if I'm running a marathon, I can set target paces, so I can try to finish a marathon within a specific time, and it gives you effectively real-time information as to your running pace and how much you need to up your pace to get to that target time. And you can turn all of these on and off. At the moment I'll go into that. So you got all sorts of options you could enable. A lot of these I perhaps wouldn't use, but anyway, they're there. So different sets of options for different are probably more appropriate for different types of activity, and then you got the exercise option. So this really allows you to customize um, the kind of tracking and the setup. So you can set the display brightness and things like that. So if you're out in the very bright light, you can turn the brightness up, always on display, so you can always have the display instantly accessible. Or you can have raise to wake, that basically is you tilt your wrist, the display will automatically turn on. So it allows you to quick glance at your wrist just to see what the the stats are, or just have a look at your activity. You can set the map style. So you can also control the battery performance. So if you click on that, you've got a few predefined settings. I believe you can even customize some of these. So for performance, on the current charge level, you can get 44. Next one down is endurance. Gives you 52. Ultra will give me 73, and Tour will give you 167. These are obviously graded battery usage, where you're going to have to compromise accuracy against battery performance. If there's no way of charging the battery, then these are kind of compromises you can kind of make to make sure that you finish your activity. And for each of these, so you can actually customize them. So each one of these defined ones actually gives you various options to tweak these even further. So if you want to customize the battery settings, you can. What else have we got in here? We got intensity zones. So those are the kind of tracked intensity zones. You can set that to power zones, pace zones. I'm not going to go too much into that. What's nice for me is you can set a target. So because this is a running activity, at the moment it's just a free run, so I've got no target set, and I can just head out and do whatever distance I feel I want to do. Although I can set a duration, so I can say if I want to go out for an hour and a half, so I want an hour and a half of activity, I can set the duration, or I can set the distance. So say I wanted to run 10k, you can put that in, so you can set that into there, and it will give you a kind of a targeted duration or distance workout. So coming further down, so you can turn off the GPS if GPS is not as important. You might not necessarily want it tracked in order to conserve battery. You can turn that off. You can also turn the wrist heart rate monitor. Climb guidance. I don't really do very much hill running or climbing, so the settings in the climb guidance are not 100% clear to me. You've got so you can turn intervals on. So if you're doing interval training, you can turn that on. That's a useful feature if you like or benefit from interval training. Auto lap, because I've got this set to metric units, so kilometers. So every kilometer will give you a split. So interesting information if you're say running a marathon, you can kind of track how well you're kind of pacing throughout the activity. Auto pause, I don't really use this. Basically, just auto pauses the activity if it detects that you're stationary. I very rarely stop during my workout, so I don't really need that. You can turn on do not disturb, which let's face it, with all the notifications and distractions, because you get notifications on this, so if you don't want to be disturbed by notifications, you can slide that to on, so it won't bother you with the notifications. Voice feedback. So voice feedback is, I think the guided exercising, you can get voice feedback if you I suppose I've got headphones, that's probably more appropriate. Media controls, that allows you to control your music. This model does not allow you to load music onto the actual device. So this is off-device controlling. Just bear that in mind. It doesn't have any on-watch music storage. And then the last one is the feeling. So at the end of the exercise, you get a set of smiley faces, so you can set the mood and the activity that you like. For instance, you found it difficult, or you found it exhilarating, so you can set the smiley faces on there. Some people love it, some people don't particularly like it, so you can turn that on so it doesn't ask you for that. And that's the activity. So once the GPS and the heart rate is locked in, then you're good to go. You just press the crown, or you click on the yellow button there, and it's going to complain because I haven't got a registered heart rate there, and it'll ask me now. Sorry, it doesn't always ask. So that's activity started, and you press the crown just to switch between the different sets of screens. So that's your breadcrumb mode, and that's your race pacer. So that app that I showed you, your media, back to the main. So that gives you the current heart rate, the time per kilometer, and the overall running time, and you've also got the time at the top there. So if you want to auto lap, so if you want to do a split here, I think it's the bottom. Okay, and then to pause or stop the activity, press the top button, and so it'll ask you, so it's registering how long it's been paused for. Press the top button to continue, and you press the bottom button to end the activity. If you started it by accident, you can just discard it. So we'll end the activity, and that's the smiley face, so you can set whatever mood it was that activity gave you. So that saves the activity, and that gives you an overall summary. There you go. I'll just delete that because this is not really. And there you go. So just a quick look at the back of the watch. So we got the contacts for the magnetic charging adapter. That just magnetically attaches on there and starts the charge as soon as that's happened. And then you've got the cluster of LEDs which make the heart rate measurements and the blood oxygen measurements, which give this an accuracy approaching something like a dedicated heart rate belt or machine. So overall, very, very good heart rate measurements. For a wrist-mounted device, it's it's excellent. So the one thing I will say about charging is you get this as the magnetic attaching charger, which attaches to the back of the watch. I'll show you that in a second. Although much better than the previous iterations, still quite not perfect. And as with the previous Suunto run that I reviewed, the cable is, the cable is 50 centimeters in total. For me, that's not long enough. I generally tend to charge it bedside, usually overnight, and the length of the cable won't allow me to reach down from the power source up to the top of the bedside cabinet. So Suunto in future perhaps make the cable slightly longer, maybe a meter will be more than enough, and make charging a little bit more practical. At the moment I'm having to charge using a power bank on a tabletop. So general gives you a whole host of generalized settings, so you can do all sorts of system type things. So you can look at the software on the watch. Remember, this is OTA, so this is over the air updatable. You can check what current software version. Each software version gives you improved stability and also added functionality, from time to time. So you can software update there. There's currently no software updates available, so that's kind of grayed out. You can set the time and the date. Language, obviously. You actually set the language first time you turn it on. You can set the tones. So you can set what notifications and what type of notifications you get. So tones and whatever. You can even set it for the buttons, but I find that quite annoying after a while. Display. So you can set the brightness. You can set it to always on or raise to wake. Put your personal information in there, some height, weight, etc. You can set a passcode if you really want to, or you can reset the settings. And what's nice on this one is same as the Suunto run that I reviewed some weeks ago. You can actually power the watch off, so if you're struggling to be able to charge it and you want to conserve as much charge on there as you want, you can actually turn the watch on quite readily. On or off. And then to turn it back on, you just, I think, hold down the crown for about 5 seconds. Customize. So you can set the watch face. At the moment I haven't got any additional watch faces. So the watch face is what it is. It informs you that you can get new watch faces from me, and that gives you a quick a snapshot of what the watch face looks like that you're choosing, and then you can set the accent colors. So you need the Suunto app to get the most out of this. To upload your activities, and secondly to download additional apps and watch faces to the watch. Because this is a premium model, it comes with the Suunto Plus app, which allows you to access the premium access stuff, which is excellent. I mean, it's an ever-growing marketplace. Complications. What is complication? Oh yeah, you can set for this watch face. You can set the two displayed activity zones there, so you can set. I've got heart rate and steps there, so I'm quite happy with that. So you can set up which widgets you are shown or not shown. Some of them might not be of interest to you, so you can turn them off in the list when you swipe up from the bottom. So that allows you to set the top shortcut and the bottom shortcut. At the moment I've got them in undefined, so you can actually set them to so that, remember, that's a long press, so you can set them to specific functions if you want to. So if you want to quickly access certain functions, you can do that for both the top and the bottom buttons. So that's a quick alarms allows you to set alarm clock allows you to set daily alarms, so you can have a number of different alarms set. Alarms, this is the built-in alert system, so you can set alarms as signaling sunrise, sunset, and also storm alarm. The way that storm alarm works is it syncs with the app, and then any incoming weather information is then sent to the watch. And so if there's a severe storm heading your way to your location, it can alert you that that is the situation. Activity, you can turn this to you can turn this completely off, so you can turn it into airplane mode, the same as you can with a phone, so you're not bothered with annoying distractions or notifications. So that's a quick way of doing that. You've also got, you can pair different devices like headphones and things like that, heart rate, Bluetooth heart rate belts and things like that. The altimeter and barometer. So at the moment, so you can set that. I'm not going to bother setting that because I don't really need to. Navigation. This has got built-in compass, so you can calibrate the compass if you need to. Sleep, that's the sleep tracking, the built-in sleep tracking, so you can configure that. Notifications, these are the system notifications, so you can set that to as to whether or not you want to see the notifications from your phone. Right, so this is to give you an idea of how bright this watch is, and this is bright sunlight. Yeah, the display is perfectly visible, not washed out by the um, brightness of the scene. Let's try starting an activity. So the heart rate's picked up. And the GPS is picked up, so we're ready to start within kind of 30 seconds. And there you go, so that's the activity started. So I've just paused the exercise there. So if I click on stop, and you can choose to end or go to the control panel or discard it. Now, for some reason, the touch doesn't seem to respond here. It's just the action of the crown. Perhaps you can leave a comment whether this behavior is affecting you as well. I'm not quite sure whether that's intentional or otherwise. So press discard and or discard that activity, so that will delete that activity from the watch. So overall conclusions, in terms of battery capacity, this is probably one of the best battery lives on the market. The only one that kind of, to my knowledge, surpasses this is the new Suunto Vertical 2, which hopefully I'll be able to review shortly. It has an abundance of built-in exercise modes, has a superbly bright screen, even if it's not on the brightest setting. It's perfectly legible and visible even in bright light. It's got an accurate heart rate monitor, good GPS connectivity, great built-in apps which you can further download. You can configure a lot of the functionality of the watch, including the watch faces, which you can download directly through the Suunto app. It has regular kind of software updates which continually improve the performance and the functionality of the watch. Superb battery life. I can easily get 10 days out of it, probably another couple of days out of that, even if I chose to kind of run the watch down a little bit more. So I could probably get 10 days with a couple of activities each week, to kind of and all the notifications on. The only thing I'd do is I have the display turned off, so after 30 seconds the display goes blank, but that's just how I prefer it. If you're after a premium sports watch without necessarily a premium price, then this is a good general purpose sports watch which should cover all bases reasonably well. It in terms of price, it's very well priced for what it is. The battery performance it gives you, great GPS, good heart rate monitoring, a whole host of built-in sporting modes, and it's got an ecosystem of downloadable little widgets and apps which you can plug into the watch and exercise activities. So that further expands the kind of appeal and the functionality of the watch, and um, with further software updates, that's going to continue to be the case. Performance improvements and also additional functionality. I've been a long time user now of Suunto watches, and they only continue to get better and better and better. So if you're after a performance premium sports watch, um, this is a very good option to consider. Just two things I'm not ideally keen on. One was the charger. It's not it's much better than some of the recent ones that have come out. My main concern is the length of the cable, which is far too short for me to have it on a bedside cabinet and reach down to where I need to plug it in. So that's one thing. The other thing is I'm not overly keen on this particular um, silicone strap. I much prefer the one that came with the Suunto verticals, the athletic strap. I think it's much better ventilated and it's slightly softer and more flexible than this. This is a little bit on the stiff side and not quite as well ventilated. But other than that, thumbs up. Um, if you enjoyed the video, please like the video. Um, and if you enjoy my content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.